What's up everybody? And this is finally the full in-depth walkthrough of the Pegasus 4.0, which very well might be the heavyweight champion, the defending heavyweight champion of ultimate day boating. So come with me and let me show you my boat. Now, I want to start with the first thing, the elephants in the room, the 600 outboard engines. Why did I choose that? Well, first of all, Pegasus is a flying horse, and I have kept it in the barn for way too long. Now, she's finally taking flight. And listen, I think being on a boat is super important to get to places fast because you want to enjoy the anchorage as fast as you can. And this gets me there 70 plus miles an hour. And that's kind of cool. While it can look really cool at the dock, it is an absolute monster on the water. It eats up the ocean at any condition. We were out at 6-foot waves. I'll put some footage over here. Literally, monster. Eats up everything you throw at it. All the way in the back, which is cool. It's usually super hard to get back into the water, with outboard engines because there's no swim platform. But this one has it. The way it's set up right now is as a passerelle, which you can use to step out the boat, get off to the dock, or you can put the steps with the push of a button. I'll show you how actually the button system is laid out. But this goes all the way down, super easy to get out. And also I can put little poles here, so it lets me walk in and out of the boat nice and securely. All the way in the back, I have cleats, which are close to the floor. I love that because when the lines are, let's say, about this high, and you step onto the boat, you have to climb over them. And you know what? I'm not very acrobatic, so having a small step is much easier than a high step. Also, not to mention, I've actually done a full walkthrough of how Vanquish Yachts are being built on my company Yacht website, which you can go check. But everything you see on a boat is made in-house. The attention to detail is absolutely bananas. You will not find probably another brand that goes so bananas with every single detail. Now, what also is super important for me is toys. I love having toys on a boat. I realized I never used the tender itself, but ton of toys. For that, this whole sunbed opens up. I'll show you how it opens up. So I have a whole control unit here, which lets me push buttons, open things up, latches, gangways, everything is controlled from here. Don't mind this. This is going to change. It's going to be exactly the same black panel with laser edged names for each individual button here as well. But pushing this button, so the whole toy storage lid opens up now. The thing with toy storage is, if you're now anchored and behind you is a super yacht, they have a super nice toy storage with the tender garage and everything that they may have over there. I wanted to make sure that if I open up and when I open up my toy storage, it looks like a mini super yacht toy storage, which is why we made this whole insert here, teak at the bottom, same way like outside, and all the toys are nicely stored away. First thing that we got, the boat's so brand new that we haven't even used any of these things, but you have these mini scuba tanks. So what you do is you actually fill it up with air, and to fill them up, I put actually a compressor in the mechanical room, and within 90 seconds, you just hook it up and it fills it up. This is proper super yacht level toy storage here. And talking about toy storage, what I also wanted to make sure that, it's not like you only have diving gear, but you can put everything here. For example, we have paddleboard right inside over here, actually comes with the Vanquish, and I want to put jet boards, and these jet boards can be nicely mounted over here, and they can be charged at the same time using the power plugs right behind here. Plus, this is an extended part of the whole garage part, where you can keep any of your sea bobs or whatever you may like stored away for an easy access. Now, to get into the mechanical room, it's actually a really neat trick. These lines hook into these holders, and once you lift up the tender garage now, this panel lifts up and you have access to the mechanical room, which is not just the mechanical room, it acts as an additional storage right below that as well. And talking about storage, underneath this panel is even more storage. So this is where all the engine computer systems are, but plenty of storage to keep even more stuff inside over here, which is absolutely unbelievable. Now, all the boats have fenders, but fenders are something that you need to fill with air, as well as the paddleboard itself, which you need to fill with air. And I swear to God, filling it up with a pump takes about 20 minutes. Never want to do that. Behind here is an air compressor. So you put a hose here and you hook it up to a fender or put it on a paddleboard, and it's filled up within minutes. You don't have to do absolutely anything. The only sweat you get is from exercising out in the water. Now, continuing with the toy storage here, at the top I have carbon fiber poles, which once again are made by Vanquish, and they make them because the ones that come from the store are too skinny. And once you put them on and tighten them with a canvas top at the in between the poles, these usually tend to bend, and on the water they look bent, they look like gimmicky and not solid enough. So that's why they make them in-house. And as you can see, they store very nicely right over here. So you just push them in just like this, and now they're not going anywhere. And look at that, even everything that you see, all the panels, they're fully finished from inside out, and all the interior, everything is painted. Talking about a paint, this is something, this is a composite hull, but if you look at the boat, the way it's painted and the attention to detail with the paint, it literally feels as if it would be an aluminum boat. Now on the port side, I have Glendenning, so whenever I get back to dock, you just push a button over here and the power cord comes out itself, so you don't have to drag it in and out. And if you want to go to Bahamas, you don't have to unhook it from the marina, take it into the boat, drag it all around, be cumbersome. This stores inside the mechanical room underneath this lid here. Now, we're not leaving because we also have the Pegasus signature option, which is a rain shower all the way in the aft. But this is an elevated version of the previous one, because not only have you have a rain shower, but you have a handheld wand as well. So if you do want to rinse down any of the toys that you bring out from the water, you can do that with this wand right here. And you have also faucet control right below here. So as we keep heading to the midship area now, there's an additional set of handheld shower. So if you want, you can plug another one inside here, or maybe you want to do a deck wash down, you can plug it in here, and you can control hot and cold water from here as well. And obviously, right above the toy storage, you have an oversized sunbed. And look at this, you can probably have 8 people laying down over here. And the most amazing part about it is that you have the backrest. Not just is it super wide, but it's also angled. So while you're lounging over here, it's comfortable. Oftentimes, you know, boats have this very angular seating. I mean, I'm not a big fan of sitting like I'm on a school bus when I'm out. So being like this is just unbelievable. It is so comfortable. And what I love about it is you have these side holders for your hands. So if you want to sit like a boss over here, this is a super comfortable place to be. And even though there's not a full walk around behind on both sides, there is an easy way to get in and out via these steps on the port side as well. And then, like I mentioned before, there's a Glendenning. Yeah. And it comes out. You can stop it obviously anywhere you want. And if you don't need it anymore. And from here, now it's finally time to walk towards the lounge area in the back. But before I get there, nice place that I can access the lines. You know, when you get close to dock, I didn't want to start opening the tender garages or the toy storages and find the lines and fenders. This is super neat because it's nicely organized. Lines here, the line protectors are right here. So what you do is you just take them out. They go over the cleat. And now when the lines go over, it doesn't scratch the paint or anything. And even these holes are exactly the same shape as the cleats itself. So when they're on it, it looks absolutely perfect. Plus, it's slightly weighted and grippy in the back, so it doesn't damage the paint, and it sticks to it so it's not flying around all over the place. It's a nice, neat little touch of detail. Fenders right below that, and they're on an angle, so a great way to easily access the fenders whenever you need them. And it's nicely stored away, not intruding your eyesight. These go down. And this is the dining area. What I love about this area is, number one, you have an L-shaped seating and a couch facing aft, plus there's a walk-in, so you can access it from anywhere. And people who sit over there, they don't have to go around people and kind of climb over them. So very easy to get in there. Once again, same angles, so it's super comfortable. And an ice box here that fits over 20 bottles of champagne. Plus, because you're going at so high speeds, what you have is everything is laminated here and the laminated magnets inside. So when you put it down, this stays locked even when you're going full speed. It's not flying off. Cup holders, 8 cup holders here, fits a champagne bottle standing. And underneath, you have a trash bin. And the way the trash bin works is actually, there's a magnet. So there's obviously a trash bag around the magnet. But you see this? So you have a metal piece, sits here magnetically, just to give you an idea, like this. So now the bag itself is not flying anywhere. And the bag itself is the trash bag. Look at this. So you put it around, just like this, yeah? Voila. Now you put the bag inside, and this sticks to it. Look at this. So now you just pull it out when it's full, close it up, off you go. And this is just trash bin number 1. There's another trash bin which we will come back to. And on the port side is now where you fill up the fuel for this boat. There is 1,000 gallons of petrol that it takes, which gives me a range around, if I go full speed, cruising speed, 40, 50 miles an hour, about 350 nautical miles, don't count me. I'll put a number over here, the actual number, but it's plenty amount of range. And if you drop the speed down, I don't know, maybe like 15 knots or 10 knots, you can do basically almost 1,000 nautical miles. So if you ask me, this is a very economical boat. And now behind the bench facing aft is where you have the galley. And first of all these latches are custom made in-house, machine milled, PVD coated. I mean, it looks like it's a piece of jewelry, This opens up. You have a barbecue on one side, Kenyan barbecue, proper barbecue to do burgers and vegetables. And on my company's channel, Yachtway's YouTube channel, which we're actually doing full walkthrough videos of a lot of different boats. I found from a very cool boat, a brand named Absolute actually. They have this very nice collapsible rubber cover for the Kenyan barbecue. And I'm absolutely gonna steal the idea and I'm gonna put it on this boat as well. So when you are doing barbecue, the grease is not flying all over the place. And of course, a mirror. So if you want to make sure you look great before you go off the dock or off to the dock, you can use this one for that. Also, a wireless charger. You have 2 of them. So you have 2 panels, they lift up. 2 wireless chargers, so you can charge your phones. And yes, it does fit an iPhone Max here as well. On the port side, you have a sink. So if you want, you can fill it with ice, which you don't need to do because you have a massive ice box right behind you. But once we close this down, by the way, this is non-scratchable surface. So even if you go with the ring over here, nothing happens. This is perfect. Put it all the way down. You have cup holders, more cup holders, 42 on this boat, as I've mentioned before. Cabinets, a lot of storage underneath. Now, because the boat is going so fast, you don't want any of the drawers or the fridges to just slide open. So these doors semi-act as blockers for them. What these doors also do is, when you open them, they open themselves because they're on gas chocks. You see these gas chocks? That makes sure that whenever you're opening any of the drawers inside, they're not hitting against the paint, making any dents, because everything is painted, everything is absolutely perfect, and you obviously want to keep it like that. Glasses at the top. These are not real glasses, by the way. These are like plastic glasses, but they definitely look like real glasses. Right below that, dishes. So all the cutlery, everything can be stored here. This closes up. Right next to that is where you have two same exact things, but you have pull-out Virtual Frigo fridge drawers. These you can actually put full champagne bottles or wine bottles standing up, even if they're half empty or open. That way they're not flying all over the place. Great place to keep them, and a nice small drawer right above it as well. And the same exact thing right next to it. So look at that. There's like a 50, 60 cans over here. And there's no Red Bull inside because Red Bull still is not sponsoring us. Though Coke and Heineken are not sponsoring either, but I'm gonna give it another shot. Maybe they're more interested in it. Now, next to that, you have a proper ice maker. This is no Mickey Mouse ice maker. This is Hoshisaki ice maker. Same ones that you see in the top bars, Michelin restaurants, everywhere in the world. From Japan. You open this up. Look at this. It makes clear ice as if it's, look at that. I mean, you can see through this ice. So you can make proper cocktails with it. And it makes so much ice, I don't know what you do with it. I mean, this looks like a piece of art. I love it, you know. Anyhow, proper ice maker. And this is not all the fridges because, you know, there has to be more fridges. Look at that. So you open this up. Fridge drawer. So smaller, but you can still have 2 bottles of wine, there's like 20 bottles of water inside. And what you can also do is, if you want, turn this into a freezer. So if you want to keep ice cream inside, perfect place for that. So this is just one. You also have an additional one right on your starboard side as well. So ample amount of place to keep all the drinks at. And this is a shoe drawer over here that's I'm using as a storage right now. Between the couch and the galley is a mechanical room. And this is something that you do not see on boats this size. This is something you find in super yachts. Because systems like your battery chargers, your inverters, Starlinks, you don't want them to get hot. So this place stays in a 68-degree temperature at all times, making sure that none of the electronics are cooking over here, which they're not supposed to be doing. And it's obviously finished like a super yacht. Super nicely, everything laid out. Obviously, you can use it a little bit, maybe even as a storage. So if you want to put bigger fenders over here, this is a cool place to keep them at. Now, what I also want to talk about this, I mean, there's so many places on this boat that you notice all these details that Vanquish does. And look at the flooring. So it actually extends to the side of the wall paneling of these lids. Everything is nicely painted underneath. And all these latches are matte black, and these are made in-house. They don't buy any of those things in. They make them themselves because the ones off the shelves, they just are not perfect. Talking about electronics, we get to helm station now, but before I get to the helm station, there are boarding doors, side boarding doors on both sides. And the way they work is you just push a button, you hold till the deadbolts come out, the two massive deadbolts. These doors open up, all these hinges, once again, done in-house, and great way to get out. So if there's side restaurant, the restaurants that I have to step out from, or step out to, this is a nice way of getting out rather than trying to climb over the engines in the back. And the way they close is, you just push them in, and they automatically close after 5 seconds. So even if somebody forgets to close it, it does it itself, like this. So the other cool thing I love about this boat is the hardtop. It goes all the way to the sides. The columns go all the way to the sides, making this space all under the roof. Plenty of shade at all times, which is super nice. And at the top, there's speakers. And having speakers at the top like this gives this Dolby surround system feeling, and it literally sounds as if you were to be in a concert hall, which is super neat. Talking about neat, you have cleats, you have 5 cleats on all sides. So if I need to drop a fender from any odd locations, I can pretty much rest assured that I have a cleat for it. And right next to this cleat is where you have diesel intake for the generator, Northern Light generator, by the way, and also a wastewater pump out right here. And this whole lead is actually on a magnet. So when you're on the way, this sits closed magnetically. This is so neat. Another grab rail over here as you're pumping in diesel, maybe you want to hold on to. It's a nice, nice thing to do. Subwoofers right against over here. These are proper size subwoofers, like about a foot high. So plenty of bass that comes out from there. Cup holders, total 42 cup holders. I might mention that multiple times because there are 42 cup holders. In the ceiling also all glass. So while you're cruising, either you Côte d'Azur where we are right now, and I tell you that this boat here in the Côte d'Azur is absolutely amazing. From Monaco, Saint-Tropez, it's minutes because you're cruising 50 plus miles an hour. So you can have breakfast in Monaco, lunch in Saint-Tropez, back to Cannes, maybe you hop over here for a meeting, back to Monaco, and it's still not even 3 o'clock. So it's a perfect island hopper either here or in US for Biminis, which is where I'm really looking forward to using this boat. Now we get to the helm station, and this is where the rocket is being maneuvered from. First things first, this grill is not just a design element, it's actually an AC. So, I mean, Miami is oftentimes so hot, just the misters is cool, but having an AC system in the helm station is a must because it's just boiling otherwise. So this is cool. You can control it from here. So you can put your air cons on, you can change it. Every single section, you can just turn it on like this and change the temperature maybe for a technical room, for your aft cabin, for your saloons. Everything is done from here, as well as all the lights, which you can, you know, if you want to change, turn on your navigation lights, anchor lights, you do that from here. Also, the whole boat, the color is matching to the Pegasus color, and same goes with the cushions, so that you're not looking for a boat on the screen that looks different from the one that you're actually driving. Interior lights, same thing, you can control them from here. You can create different modes, so you have a day mode, you can put night mode, basically whatever you like. Exterior lights, your roof light, deck lights, underwater lights, everything is controlled from here. And if you want to turn on your engine room lights, anchor locker lights, you can do that. So it's nice that, you know, anchor locker being pitch black at nighttime, it's good to see what's going on inside. Systems, more systems. There are water maker. Okay, let's talk about water maker. I hate to say it, I've tried so many different systems, most is junk. A lot of the companies who build these water makers, I don't know what they're doing, but they just don't work properly. This system, I've used it now for quite a few different boats, tested them during the Yachtway spotlights that we do for my company, but it is the only system that is integrated into the Garmin monitors, so you can start your water maker, stop your water maker, see how much water it has produced, hour counters, absolutely everything, as well as water quality. You know, nobody likes to go into engine room to see how is the water maker doing. I mean, come on, this is the 21st century. So that's why I think the HP water maker is taking the cake right now. Obviously, I'm going to be putting it through the paces and testing it. Also, this boat has Seakeeper. Opted for Seakeeper because the previous system that I had a lot of issues. So I didn't want to have a Seakeeper. I wanted to have, I didn't want to have that system. So I had this time opted for a Seakeeper system. What else? Media systems, video. Okay. So we have underwater cameras in Bahamas or in Miami or even in the Meds. There's so many beautiful things under the water, and oftentimes maybe you don't want to jump in, or you want to see where you're about to anchor before you jump in, which is why I opted for the underwater cameras. And I also opted for a night vision, not the night vision that most commonly is used by the boats, but by a company called Psionics. It is 1/10 of the cost, and the quality and the clarity at nighttime is unreal. We'll put a clip over here of another boat that we tested it on, and it's incredible how good this system works. So we're cruising at nighttime right now on the boat. This is how dark it is. It's pitch black outside. That's what I see ahead. And boom, check this out. This is Psionics camera system. I am not paid or endorsed. This is another boat. Look, I can't even see them. I'm not paid endorsed to say anything, but this camera system costs $2,500. The FLIR night vision thermal camera costs starting at $10,000, and it gives you 2% of this view. I mean, come on, this is unbelievable. And it's so well priced, so I mean, there's no reason not to use this system. What else? Systems, water makers, anchor controls. You can control your anchor system from here if you so desire, but otherwise you have a remote control for that. But you know, it gives you exactly the statuses, where the anchor is if anchor is operating, anchor is ready, anchor is deployed. You see everything from here, which is very nice. Hum-free. This boat has hum-free trim tabs, so you can control them from here or put it on automatic mode and it works itself. Bow thruster. Okay, there again, a lot of different bow thrusters, but this one is a side power, which means the more you push, the more power it'll give to the bow itself. And if you are in a high current places or a lot of wind around you while you're docking, then this thing is magical. Also, what is magical is a joystick system by Mercury. This is first time now I actually have, you know, a boat with 600 horsepower outboard engines. So I'm going to be testing out the Mercury system. I have driven it already, obviously, this boat, but so far it's been really cool. And what we also just did is we integrated the bow thruster into the engines themselves. So when you're pushing the boat sideways, it actually uses the bow thruster in combination with the outboard engines as well, making the movement very linear, and it moves very smoothly. And when you stop it, the bow thruster is actually compensating for the bow not to run away. Really, really cool. And also, Skyhook, same thing that you usually have with inboard engines. You push that button, boat stays in the same exact location. It doesn't drift away anywhere. While you're waiting for a breach to open or whatever, maybe get your fender lines ready. Cool systems for that. You're gonna love the AC system over here. I mean, you start taking it for granted because you're staying over here, you're staying so cool. But the moment you step out, you're like, this gets hot now. Which is why you just turn on the misting system. So the moment you're off from the helm station area, this misters. And you know what's neat is you can actually change the angle of the nozzles, so you can make them come out from whichever direction that you like. And this is nice. So as I keep going on over the helm station, there's also a panel. This is watertight compartment for the phone. So you can actually magnetically put a phone here to charge, two of them side by side. And you know, if you want to keep your wallet or maybe sunscreen, whatever else stored away, this is a nice place to keep everything. And once again, it has gas chock here, so stays closed when you're going full speed. When you're going at high speeds like this, you want to make sure that everything is as secure as possible. Talking about secure, same thing, you can keep your cup secure. 4 cup holders on one side, 4 cup holders on the other side, so 8 cup holders just at the helm station. Seats, so these seats work in 2 different ways. You know, if you want to drive standing up, you can. The side poster nicely hugs you, and when you want, you can just fold it down, sit over here, enjoy the ride right from here. And also, what you can do is you can slide those chairs in and out, whichever way you like. So voila, there's that for you as well. Other systems on this boat: Starlink, 2 Starlink, marine Starlinks on the roof. Why 2? Well, number 1, I think domes are kind of looking silly these days. They look like 90s technology. And I wanted to put 1, but the thing is, it wouldn't look symmetrical, which is why I did 2. But look at the speeds. This is now a speed on the Starlink. It just keeps on going up. You don't get that speed at home. 260 megabytes per second download speeds. Two Starlinks are meshed together, so it gives you more data, more speed. Also on the top, radar, searchlight, floodlight at the front. So at nighttime, if you're totally pitch black, you can use that. But obviously, the Psionics night vision camera helps out tremendously. So that's more or less the tech that is on the roof, other than two VHF antennas. And talking about VHF antennas, no more old school VHF system. This is a new Vesper VHF radio, and it is as clear as a whistle. Literally, it feels as if you would be talking with a cell phone. It's so clear. So never have to, you have to ask from Marina, can you repeat? It is that good. Also connects to the Wi-Fi on the boat, the Starlink, and you can monitor the boat from anywhere in the world. So if any alarms go off or anything, you can do that using the Vesper as the system for that. Really nice. And stores away underneath. Also underneath is a USB plug. So if you want to plug anything in, you can do that. And I forgot to mention, but there are also USB plugs by the dining area. So it's very cool that whenever you need, you have two USB-C chargers plugs and two USB-A plugs underneath here as well. So, and these are, by the way, weather sealed, so no water will come into it, even when you're washing the boat, or maybe it's raining outside. Now, there's so many things on this boat that it's gonna literally take me 3 hours to go over every single one of them, which is why if you want to see an even more in-depth review, then leave a comment down below and I'll make a 3-hour documentary out of it, going over every single detail. But two more things at the helm station. Underwater lights, there are 4 on either side, plus 2 in the back. And also what it has is anti-fouling. Now, what do you mean anti-fouling? Yes, it does have bottom paint, but it also has a system like little blocks mounted into the hull itself. And these little plugs send out electrical pulses to the hull, and any gunk that is building up on the hull itself under the water just loosens up, which means I don't need to do bottom cleaning as often as other boats, and I don't have to do bottom paint every single year. So cool little feature. Now, all these 3 screens have an Apple TV behind, and you can watch different things from different screens. So one can watch their favorite TV show, and the other one can watch a movie, while the captain, or in this case me, would be concentrating on the digits and all the engine metrics in front of me. Now, the question is going to be, well, how are they going to listen to the TV show, because there's only one set of speakers? Well, with Apple, they can actually set up headphones, and each can have their own headphone set, and they can just listen whatever is in front of them. So super simple. And last thing at the helm station, so when you are sitting down over here, you have a nice footrest for the captain and a footrest right behind for anybody who's sitting next to you, and handlebars. So if you want to hold on to, because you're going crazy speeds, these handlebars come in handy. But otherwise, this helm is super comfortable to be at. The steering wheel, it's actually smaller than the first one that we were on when we did sea trials. And you can adjust the height whichever way you like. So up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You can do that. This is a good position for it to be though. And I have to say, I love driving it, standing up, and the wheel just like this, and just leaning against over here. This is my preferred position. And I have to say, once you are leaning it back over here, so clear view out, and when you're yanking the steering wheel suddenly full 180 degrees, it's so comfortable to be here, and it makes you feel super safe because the gunwales and walkways are so high. It feels like you're inside a cocoon, that nothing's gonna happen with you. I mean, and this boat, I tell you, when you throw it, you can quite literally throw it into the curb 180 degrees by going 60 miles an hour. No question. You just yank the wheel and it'll do exactly what you tell it to be. It's unreal. I'll put some footage over here. How we drove it, how we drove with it the other day. And now to the bow area. Obviously, the handrails extend all around, so you can grab onto everything. And of course, the gunnels themselves are super high. and cleats absolutely everywhere. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cleats on either side. So plenty of places to tie your ropes, your fenders, or whatever you might need. This is my favorite seat in house. I mean, perfect view out, and I have a table right in front of me. Talking about table, you might think that, you know, it's a little bit too far. Actually, it extends out. There's a latch right below. And now when I push on it, ta-da! So what I do is I usually put my iPad or I put my laptop here and I do all my emails from here. If you don't need it, you just push it back in. Or if you want, you can obviously sit over here as well. I like that I have the handrails underneath. And what's also neat is right below, if my iPad or my Mac gets empty, there's a plug. So I can plug in my charger right at the bottom, making sure that I can keep on working on Yachtway at all times. And also cup holders. There's no lacking of cup holders on this boat. There's 42 of them. All of them are obviously carbon fiber finishings, not just the top, but also internally. And you might wonder, okay, well, this is very nice, but what if it rains and it's filled with water? Every single cup holder has a drain plug, so there's no water collecting anywhere. Talking about water collection, every cleat has a drain hole so that there's no water puddling up on top of the cleat, and the drain goes all the way underneath the boat, making sure that there's no water collecting absolutely anywhere other than the water that you're floating on. Now, you may wonder why this boat doesn't have a bow sunbed. Well, it does have it. You just haven't noticed it. There's a button and it goes down so smoothly. Everything you touch on this boat, it's just like, ah. Now, once it's all the way down, let me bring a filler. Actually has a very cool system. So the way it works is you bring it back up a little bit. Imagine you're going now full speed, 70 plus miles an hour, full speed. You don't want this cushion to fly away. So you see this little net, this goes underneath the table, just like this. Yeah, look at that. Voila. And you have clips. And you can clip the cushion. And the only thing you do is you just clip it in here and voila, now it's in place. Then you push the button all the way down. So even if you're going full speed, this is not going to fly anywhere. And look at that. Once it's all the way down, I mean, tell me that this is not the perfect place to be. And if it's too much sun, you have 3 carbon fiber pole holders on either side. So the whole bow area, not just part of it, but the whole area is covered from the sun, which is really nice. And these are the cleats that I told you about. Now, something I want to show you is an anchor locker. So now, if you want to anchor, I have a remote control for that. Just like this, you push a button. And Yanni, my camera guy, is gonna come and zoom into this whole thing because I want you to really see this anchor locker. This is a state of the art. Look at this. You have a fully stainless steel anchor chain, 100%. The whole anchor chain has its own specific locker, so it's not rattling around or it's not jumping all over the place. It's tall enough, so even if you're jumping over 5-6 foot waves, which this boat does without even hesitation, you can do that. And you see how it goes out. Voila, just like this. And now, once you're anchoring, this whole lead actually closes down. Voila. So now you don't see the anchor mechanism. And when you want it, you just, once again, you push it. This lifts up. And it comes all the way in. And just before you do it, everything is on a gas chuck. Look at that. Even the small little latch is on a gas chuck. Because once again, when you're going over 50 miles an hour, slamming and jumping over the waves. You don't want any of these panels to rattle around, which is why they're all on gas shocks. Same thing with this one. And look at the hinge over here. This is just, I mean, this can lift up not just this lead, this can lift up half a boat, you know. Let's talk more about the amenities at the bow. You have speakers, and what's great about these speakers, they're all flush. So when you're walking around, you're not hitting yourself against any of the speaker frames. They're all nicely hidden away. And the sound system on this boat is something out of this world. There's no options for sound system in Vanquish. It's only one option. They don't even allow you to put some small Mickey Mouse sound system. It has to be the absolute best on every single boat that leaves the production line. And this sound system is absolutely bananas. The sound system on this boat is so good. We'll put a test over here, but I don't think it'll come through the way it was intended to be listened. Now, if you do want to take a shower, then I also have a shower plug here, so you can rinse yourself down. And also, what I wanted to make sure is it's not just a shower, but it can also be used as a hose down. So if you want to click a hose in, you can do that, because if you might want to rinse down some of your sides, you can do that, because this thing, I want it to look absolutely perfectly clean at all times. So this is a great add-on here. So from the bow area now, we can go into the cabin. And for the cabin, there's a nice latch, and you just pull the latch. Now it's open. You slide it in, boom. Now it stays locked over here, so you can keep it open when you're on the go, or close it up. It's so smooth with a pinky, okay? Let's do it with a pinky. With the pinky. Now, let's go see inside. So as I come down, the first thing, the most important thing is concentrate on my head. It never moves because the ceiling height is so high. Again, I'm 6'1", plenty of space above my head. And another thing, let me do this one more time, is the width of the steps. Your whole foot fits on the step. Look at this. My foot size is 11, so it fits nicely in the whole step. Plus, the whole walkway is very wide, so makes you feel very confident as you're walking down. And first things, okay, handrail on the side, LED lighting, floodlight creates this very nice smooth lighting. Garmin monitor, so you can control your lights, etc. Everything from here. So whatever you might want to do, you can do that, like AC or everything. First cabinet is where you have all your system accesses. Before I even get there, this is good, it's here. This is a manual just for the paint itself. So in the future, if somebody needs, or if I ding in against anything, there's a manual of exactly what paint the boat has, what the mixes are for the paint. There's a whole history of it, just for the paint. And obviously every Vanquish is actually painted with all grip paint. So if you don't know, then I've learned by now that this is like a super yacht quality paint, which is nice. Again, back to the panel. So you have a water maker hard button control panel here, JL audio secondary panel hidden away just for the system. Then you also have your alarm resets, main switches, everything here, as well as your engine control right here, and the keys for the engines. I love everything about the Mercury V12s. The only thing I don't like about them is the keys. Mercury, please, could you get rid of these keys and somehow come out with, more modern version? Also, another thing inside the cabinet is USB charger. Oftentimes you have these small remotes, and to keep them charged, you can just keep them inside over here, out of the sight, nicely hidden away. All these buttons hide away. And next to that is another fridge, but this time it's a wine fridge. Richard Frigo wine fridge. So you can keep all your wines inside here. Plenty of bottles. You can put 4 bottles in a row, 4, 8, 12, easily 14, 16 bottles of wine, no problem. And right next to me on the starboard side is a galley area, which is not fully finished yet because it's missing a coffee machine. There's also a plug underneath, so you can just plug it in over there, and easy access to the coffee machine. And look at all this caulking work. It feels like a robot did it, you know. No imperfections, zero. And right above me is actually skylight. And you know what I will do? I will actually put a ceramic tint to it to keep the heat away, because, you know, just to keep the AC not running at full blast always, because in Florida, this is going to get hot. So this is something I will add. But look at the headspace. I mean, this is overlooking 2 feet above me, which is great. This whole area is scratch proof. So any metal, nothing is going to scratch it. You have a cutlery drawer, which is nicely foamed everywhere, so everything keeps safe. You can even put your sunglasses here. Close this thing up. Underneath, you have 2 storage drawers, one at the top, one at the bottom. So if you want to put maybe extra dishes here, whatever you want, you can easily do that. And obviously additional storage actually also underneath the sink. All the way forward is a bed, which, I mean, it's a queen size bed, I want to say. It's a Samsung frame, so, you know, if you want to watch a movie, you can easily do that. And by having a Starlink on board, you can just connect it to Starlink or whatever, and I can make sure that, you know, I can watch YouTube or YouTube TV. And on the port side, there is a full dry head, which you can walk into. Look at this. Plenty of space above my head. Yeah. Look at this. So you come in, you have rain shower. Once again, 6'1", plenty of headspace. You have a handheld wand. Rinse yourself down. Shower control, and also a little bar here. So if I put some soaps or shampoos here, they're not flying off. Nicely protected. And this one just closes. I like that it has a nice LED strip actually. So it gives you plenty of light. Mirror, big mirror. Underneath, plugs, USB plugs, regular plug, and an additional plug. So if you want to put a shaver, maybe you want to charge a phone at the same time, everything can be here. And also a light switch, AC fan. By the way, this is all the air that is circulating here when it comes out. This has a filter inside, making sure that it smells good at all times. Storage right below. Another handheld shower for the outside. I showed you in the bow. You can also set this up as a bow shower. So this is for that. Then toilet paper holder, you know, your brush for the toilet, and obviously your toilet controls here. So that's the toilet itself. Plus it has a guest cabin, which is right behind me. Look at this. So the door latch, there's no latch, but the way it closes is with a magnet. Look at that. If you actually come close, look. This latch, boom, comes out the moment it touches the magnet on the other side. That's cool, huh? So when you're closing it, it doesn't hit the wood itself. This latch doesn't hit the wood. Look. Nice. Okay, we walk to the guest cabin. This is how much space I have above my head. Obviously, when you walk here, then you'll have less space. But once you're here, you're already laying down. TV for the guests to look at. AC control. Storage. So, plenty of storage. And also, we have a flag post for outside. So, this is something that we put on the portside corner, which I'll show you later. Stores away here, boom, just like this. Plenty of storage also right here. Look at that. This is, okay, I'll give you an example how big this is. This box, this size box, fits easily inside, and you can put 2 of those on top of each other. So gives you a pretty good understanding of how good size this has. And same thing on the other side, big storage. This can fit even bigger boxes, yeah. And also, storage is underneath the bed. So if you want to put more stuff, you can do that. But yeah, plenty of storage, plenty of space. Perfect for a weekend getaways. And even if we bring, you know, family on board, they have their own room. Plus, it has a door, so you can separate two cabins. Very nice. So some of you might have noticed that there's a black hole at the bow. Now what it is actually a tow hook. So what I could do one day is tow it behind maybe a 100-meter super yacht. And what's neat is inside, the whole tow area is curved. So when you put a line inside, it doesn't scrape and potentially break the line while on the go. So again, shows the attention to detail that Vanquish likes to go with its boats. And no, I do not have a 100-meter super yacht today, but you know, I'm just thinking ahead here. So the way the flag mounts is this cap. You use this tool, you pull it off, boom, just like this. This is a solid, this is not plastic, huh? This is like a piece of jewelry, look at that. I mean, everything you touch on this boat is absolute pure happiness. That's the level of detail Vanquish goes. And this is the flagpole. This is how the flagpole now mounts here. And you're gonna ask, well, yeah, well, what if you're on the go? This is gonna fly off. Yeah, exactly. That's why you just screw it tight. That way, it'll stay here securely, just like this. Yeah. And yes, this boat will be actually flying Dutch flag. And you see, this is how it now stays over here, because we're in Europe, so we're flying a Dutch flag right now. This was a full thorough walkthrough of the Pegasus 4.0. I am so excited to actually start using this boat, and the first month now I will be using it here in the Mediterranean. We're planned a very cool route to enjoy it here in Europe, and then we're gonna come with it to United States, and we're gonna keep it obviously in Miami. And also, if you wanna see the Pegasus 4.0 in person, then she will be at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show at the end of August 2024. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more Yacht Pegasus, then hit the subscribe button, and as always, catch you on the next one. Cheers.